Nobody is going to tell you this at a dinner party. Your financial advisor probably won't say it. The personal finance influencer selling a course won't say it. And the people in your life who are quietly building real wealth almost certainly won't say it either. But it is true. And until you hear it clearly, the strategies don't matter. Here it is. Most people are not poor because of bad luck or an unfair system or a lack of information. Most people are not building wealth because of decisions they are making right now, today, in ordinary moments, that feel completely justified in the moment and are slowly compounding into a financial position they did not choose. That is an uncomfortable sentence. It is supposed to be. Because the most dangerous financial position is not debt or low income. It is the belief that your financial situation is primarily the result of forces outside your control. That belief removes the only lever you actually have. Let's talk about what wealth actually is before we talk about what it requires. Wealth is not income. This is the first thing most people get wrong. A high income and wealth are not the same thing and do not automatically lead to each other. Thomas Stanley spent decades documenting this in the Millionaire Next Door. The majority of genuinely wealthy Americans do not have the highest incomes on their street. The majority of people with the highest incomes on their street are not wealthy. Income is a flow. Wealth is what you keep from the flow after everything else is paid. Most people spend their entire career increasing the flow without ever changing what they keep from it. The lifestyle adjusts to the income within months. The savings rate stays flat. The wealth never accumulates. Here is the second uncomfortable truth. Time is the most important financial resource you have. Not income. Not connections. Not knowledge. Time. Because time is the only thing that allows compound growth to do the work that no salary or strategy can replicate. $1 invested at 25 grows to over $21 by 65 at historical market returns. $1 invested at 35 grows to $8. The difference between those two outcomes is 10 years of choices that felt unrelated to finance at the time. The Netflix subscription that replaced saving. The car upgrade that felt earned. The apartment that was slightly nicer than necessary. None of those individual decisions felt like a wealth decision. All of them were. This is the part nobody wants to hear. Wealth is built in the ordinary moments. Not in the investment strategy. Not in the side hustle. Not in the hot stock or the right market timing. It is built in the gap between what you earn and what you keep multiplied by time. And that gap is controlled by decisions that feel small. Here is the third truth. Your relationship with money was formed before you had any control over it. Brad Klontz, a financial psychologist whose research has been cited across behavioral economics literature, has documented what he calls money scripts, the financial beliefs most adults carry without examining. Beliefs formed watching parents, formed by cultural narratives about who deserves wealth and who doesn't, formed by early experiences with scarcity or abundance. These scripts run silently behind every financial decision. They explain why two people with identical incomes can have completely different financial outcomes over a decade. The person whose money script says wealth is a reward for hard work invests differently from the person whose money script says wealth is what other people have. Neither script is visible. Both are making decisions. The practical implication of this is specific. Before you change your financial behavior, you need to understand your financial beliefs. Not in a vague general sense. Specifically, what do you believe money means about a person? What do you believe about people who have a lot of it? What do you believe you deserve? Those answers are running your financial life whether you examine them or not. Here is the fourth truth, and this one is the most practically actionable. Wealth is not built by earning more. It is built by keeping more. And keeping more is a systems problem, not a willpower problem. The evidence on this is consistent and decades old. People who automate their savings before they can spend it build wealth. People who save whatever is left at the end of the month save almost nothing, regardless of income level. Because the end of the month is where willpower goes to die. Every spending decision has been made. Every temptation has been encountered. What is left over is not surplus. It is what happened to survive the month. The system that works is simple and unsexy. A fixed percentage of every paycheck moves to savings or investment before you interact with it. Not after rent. Not after groceries. First. Before anything else. Because the money you never see in your checking account is the money that cannot be spent. David Bach called this the automatic millionaire principle. The mechanism is behavioral, not mathematical. It works not because the math is elegant but because it removes the decision from the environment where decisions reliably go wrong. Here is the final truth. Nobody who has actually built wealth is going to make it sound easy. Because it is not easy. It is specific. It is slow. It requires doing the correct things in the correct order for a longer period of time than feels reasonable, without visible feedback for most of that time. The first years of building wealth look like nothing is happening. The balance moves in amounts that feel insulting relative to the sacrifice. The compounding is invisible until it isn't. And then suddenly, usually somewhere between year 7 and year 10, the math starts working visibly in your favor. The curve bends. The money starts generating more money than you are contributing. Most people quit before that point. They quit during the phase where the actions are correct and the results are invisible. They quit because nobody told them the feedback would be terrible for years before it became extraordinary. Now you know. The decisions you make in ordinary moments are wealth decisions. The time you have right now is the most valuable financial resource you will ever have access to. The beliefs you carry about money are making choices before you consciously engage. And the system you build around your behavior matters more than any strategy you will ever learn. Nobody is going to tell you this at a dinner party. But someone just did.